How you guys doing? Who do we have here? I see Ben. It's like 5 people watching now. I see Ben in here. I don't see anyone else yet in the chat. I'm sure you guys are on your way in. Hey, bud, how you doing? SWP Goat 99. Woody, what's the good word? Welcome, everybody. So I'm gonna give it a couple of minutes, give a few more people an opportunity to join. I spent part of this morning hitting up a couple of local comic shops, picking up some books that I think that arrived a little bit early. I think in most parts of the country, I think books seem to arrive a little bit later. So I made the rounds today, hit 2 of the 3 shops, had a wonderful discussion with my one of the shop owners today. He's an awesome guy, and I genuinely enjoy my conversations with him. And occasionally I hit the shop when there's like no one else there, and he and I can just have a really good conversation. But he just got some books back from CGC. Some of you guys actually have seen this because I messaged a couple of you guys with a photo that he sent to me like 4 days ago. And it was Amazing Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. So I was able to kind of hang out with him, talk about these books. And they were nice. They were some nice books. And he has a wonderful backstory behind how he acquired these books. But it was cool to kind of hang out with this dude for a little bit. Santiago, how you doing, brother? Yeah, I'll send you a message. Hopefully I can find it in the chat later on. Or you can just send me a message if you want to email at RegieCollects. I think it's RegieCollects@gmail. You can reach me there. If not, I will message you after the chat ends. Thanatos, how you doing? Baxter, how you doing? David, welcome. Comics Misexplained. So we got a couple of really cool guys here. So before we get started with the unboxing, I want to show you guys a couple of things that I picked up today. Somebody did a really wonderful, I think it was Comics with Bueller. He did a Just the Keys video the other day that I really enjoyed on Web of Spider-Man, and I was in the local shop today and was going through long boxes and spotted this. This is Web of Spider-Man number 29. I actually don't have this in my run of Spider-Man. I believe that this is the first appearance of Wolverine in the Web of Spider-Man series. So definitely a really cool book. Looking forward to reading this one because I have not actually read this one before, so that'll be kind of cool. I'll show you guys a couple of the other like new books that I picked up today. This X-23, really cool cover. X-Men Red number 7. I am a fan of the X-Men, specifically the red title. Amazing Spider-Man number 4. So I thought that was cool. I'm looking forward to reading that. The Venom number 5. This is where Venom has wings. And there's a lot of speculation about this book and where this book is headed and whether they're about to bring in, I can't remember if it was the Son of Satan or something like that. I was watching someone's video. The Avengers number 6. I read number 5. If you guys remember, I did a video on that where basically they were rewriting the origins of the Marvel Universe in Avengers number 5. So I'm looking forward to reading number 6. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. Picked up Venom First Host. Looking forward to reading that. And then Extermination number 2. The number 1 was really good. And so I'm looking forward to reading number 2. And then the last book I picked up is might be a little bit of a surprise for some of you, but I picked it up because it's really cool. I haven't flipped through it yet, but I've heard about it and I had to get this thing. It is the reprint of Fantastic Four number 1. Now, what makes this different from like True Believers is that they actually reprinted the entire book. So the ads and all that stuff are all inside of here. And I recently read Fantastic Four number 1, the real one. So I'm looking forward to flipping through this one and checking it out. So I had to pick this up. I only picked up 1 copy. I heard about a guy that picked up several copies because he wanted Stan Lee to sign them. I only went with 1 copy. All right, so yesterday, hold on, let me catch up with the chat here. SWP Goat, thank you for watching that video, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, oh no, you were talking about Comics with Bueller. His new series that he's doing on Just the Keys is really, really cool. I mean, I guess if you have a ton of inventory where you have those full runs, you can do that, and clearly he does. And I I enjoy that series, right? Like you can look up the keys and all that kind of stuff, but to have someone kind of tell the story and flag the books and to give you a little bit of context for pricing and stuff like that, I think that that was really well done. So if you guys haven't checked out Comics with Bueller, I definitely encourage it. At a minimum, check out the video that he did. So that was really cool. Yeah, Comics Misexplained is saying that Comics with Bueller had him buying a lot of stuff on eBay. That is the danger with any of these videos, man. I watch people's videos and I find myself pausing the video to flip over to eBay to see what prices are going for. And it is definitely a dangerous thing, you know? Gorilla, welcome to the chat, brother. Matt, what are you saying? They picked up issues 1 through 7 of X-Men Red. Yeah, man, give it a read, brother. It is, I think it's a good read. I find it enjoyable, but I'm also a fan of X-Men, you know? So, the Comics Misexplained picked up the Son of Satan 12. What's the deal behind that one? Is that the one where they think that there's going to be the link between the flying Venom and the Son of Satan? Is that the thought there? All right, so while we wait for that response to that question, I'm gonna cut this box open. So what I have in here is 15 books that I sent off to CGC. I honestly cannot remember what's actually in here. Yesterday I unboxed Iron Man 55, and I'm not sure if you guys have noticed the change to the wall back there, but there has been a change to the wall as a result of that book coming back from CGC yesterday. So thanks to everyone who weighed in either on Instagram or here on the channel. There were several people that kind of responded. So this is, I sent in one box, but 2 separate invoices. One was for the Iron Man 55, which came back at a 9.4, and the other invoice was for the 15 books that are here. I don't remember what's in here because I was trying not to go to the CGC website to actually look this stuff up. So I have no clue what's in the box or what the grades are. So we're gonna do the best that we can to kind of pull these things out of the box without looking at them. So we will see what this is together because I have no clue what it is. So we're gonna do this on the fly. Oh, all right, so it is Raw Zero, I do believe. Yeah, this is Raw Zero. I think this is the first appearance of, I can't remember the guy's name. I'm sure you guys will remember. Oh, came back, 9.6. So I picked this book up off the shelf back in '92, and it has been in my collection ever since. So this is Raw Zero from Valiant, 9.2, first full appearance of Bloodshot. There you go. Origin and first appearance of the new Raw. So if you guys haven't seen, I did a recent video where I talked about the fact that Valiant now has a movie deal, and they have a deal for 5 movies that will essentially serve as the foundation for the Valiant universe. The first one up is Bloodshot, which I believe started filming a few days ago. So pick this one up. That's definitely a cool book to have. All right, I think it's nice when you pick these books up for cover price and then something actually happens with them, you know? All right, so let's see what this one is. There's a little bit of a delay, so bear with me. All right, so this is Silver Surfer #1. This is volume #3. Picked this up at the LCS not that long ago, and it came back at a 9.6. So this is pretty cool. I think those are 2 heralds of Galactus right there, Silver Surfer, and I can't remember the other young lady's name, but this is the origin of the Silver Surfer retold, and also a Galactus appearance. So that one's very cool. Picked that one up for a couple of bucks out of a long box at the LCS. All right, next up is X-Force #1. This is a sketch cover. I'm trying to see which, oh, I'll tell you the story behind this one in a second. Oh, 9.0 white pages. So I bought this one. This is like a 1 in 100 variant or something like that. I picked this one up off of the corner in Oakland, California. Oakland is also known as Cokeland. So enough said about that book. I did verify that it was not stolen. At least I asked the question. So yeah. All right, let's see what the next one. Oh, we have a celebrity here. Comic Crypto Stock. Welcome, brother. I just took a look at one of your videos earlier today. Welcome to the chat. If you guys haven't checked out this guy's channel, I highly encourage you to do it. This is the Raw Zero is the glossy version. So is that good or bad? Because I know that there's two versions and I honestly don't know the difference between the two. They said that this cover was done by Jim Shooter. Interesting. But this is the glossy version. So is that good or bad? He's saying score, so maybe that's good. Daz, how you doing? All the way from the UK. Oh, that's a $160 book. Very nice. I paid cover, whatever cover was back in the day. What was it? A buck or 125? Can't remember. Oh no, this is expensive. 225. Wow. All right, so cool. 160 bucks. Thank you. All right, so next up is X-Force number 2. This is the book that I'm thinking of. This is a book that actually I picked up off the shelf back in '91. So it came back 9.8 white pages. Very cool book. I think I have like 3 or 4 copies of this book in my collection. So very cool. And what I did is, for you guys that don't know, anytime you do a quick press, you have to send in a minimum of 15 books. And so that's why it's such a weird number, if you will, of 15. So Venom Lethal Protector number 1. This is also another book that I picked up off the rack back in '93. And it is a 9.8. Very cool. And well, it's actually in pretty good shape. Wow, very nice. So let me get caught up on the chat here real quick. Also, that is the first, oh, I didn't know that. So crypto stock, crypto stock is basically saying that the Raw Zero is the first zero ever in comics. So that's pretty cool. Very cool. I did not know that. I think that's what's really great about some of this stuff, is that I have an opportunity to learn about some things that I honestly didn't know. Like I showed a chromium cover yesterday, and lo and behold, it was the first chromium cover ever. So I thought that was really cool because I actually did not know that. So Comics Misexplained is getting back to us saying that the Son of Satan, number 12, is Damien Hellstrom. Origin, first appearance of the Son of Satan, just spec based upon future Venom cover. Got it. And that was the one with the where he has the Venom has wings and the pentagram on his chest. And I guess the Son of Satan, Damien Hellstrom, has a pentagram on his chest as well. And I think people are making a connection there. I think I watched that this morning. Jim's Comics, I can't remember. I think he was the one that kind of did a video on that this morning. And he's up in Canada, I do believe, and has a pretty solid collection. I really enjoy his spec videos. I really do. He has a depth of knowledge that I really appreciate. So, all right, so let's see. I think you guys may have seen that cover or seen that gray. We'll see. This is X-Force number 2. I guess I had 2 of these in there. Go figure. Given that I think I have a handful. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Got white pages though. What happened with this one? Wow. Look at that. That's brutal. It is what it is. We'll look at the grader's notes on that. That is brutal. So Comics Misexplained is saying Jim is a great guy. Yeah, Matt, it is definitely rough. Thank you, brother. Anybody want to buy an X-Force 2? I got it for a really good price. All right, so we have Amazing Spider-Man number 4. I actually don't even remember what this, oh yeah, the first appearance of Silk. Let's see what this one is, 9.0. I picked this one up as part of a guy's collection. So this is one that I didn't know what to expect on this one, but it came back as a 9.0. Dan Slott story. Cindy Moon becomes Silk. So we had a 9.0 on that book. So clearly these aren't in order because we went from a 5.5 to a 9.0. So hopefully we're going up. But yeah, I picked that up from a guy in Oakland, not the same guy on the corner, different guy. So we have Amazing Spider-Man 650. This is the $3.99 newsstand edition. 9.6 white pages. I think that's a really cool cover. That is a really cool cover. I like that one. So first appearance of the stealth spider suit. So that's pretty cool. I think I want to say that I have a couple of copies of this one too. This one's a cool cover. I really like that one. Dad says that 5.5 is must be one of his books. Brother, you can have this book for the low price, right? I will make you a sweet deal if anybody wants to. That's brutal. That is brutal. It's all good. Clearly, I am going to take a loss on that one. Well, maybe not, because I didn't really buy the book, so who knows? All right, so we have Amazing Spider-Man 529. This is from 06. I think this is the first appearance, 9.6. Very nice. This is the first appearance of his new costume with the extra legs there. So that's cool. I think I have a couple of copies of this one as well. And I think hopefully there's not another one in there, because we saw what happened last time that I had doubles in the same box. So hopefully we don't repeat that mistake. All right, let's see what's next. Santiago, you will buy it. Send me a message, brother. Let me know what you're willing to pay. And it'll also cost you 13 bucks for shipping. You know that. Standard price. All right. Amazing Spider-Man 238. I honestly, oh, okay. So I bought this book once and then bought it again. And I think I still have the one in raw, but I want to say it was missing the tattoos. So I went out and got this one because the tattoos, I believe, were inside, if memory. 9.4 white pages. Nice. This is a John Romita Jr., John Romita Sr. cover. First appearance of the Hobgoblin. Very cool. It's a nice book. I figured that this one would come back pretty nice, right? TJ Watson, how you doing, brother? So we have a handful of books left to go here. Keep working our way through this. Stay Puff, how you doing? No, stuff stuck on there. All right. So we have Amazing Spider-Man 252, one of my favorites. I think I have, I don't know, 4 copies of this or something like that. So I think I already have, what's back there on the wall? A 9.2 back on the wall. So let's see if we did better than that. And we did not. So we have another 9.2. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. At least that one's newsstand, right? At least that one's newsstand. That's cool. All right. All right. So I think I've had that 9.2. If you heard my Iron Man story that I talked about yesterday, that 9.2 right there actually came from the same place that the Iron Man 55 came from and the Amazing Spider-Man 300 came from on the wall back there. So no, agree, Stay Puff. 252 is definitely a good book. I want to say I have a handful of those books. It's one of those books, whenever I see it, I kind of have to pick it up, you know? So we have Uncanny X-Men number 164 up next. And let's see what we did. 9.8. So this is, I think, one of the very few like Carol Danvers like stories that I have. But this is where Carol Danvers becomes binary. I actually picked this book up not that long ago. This is a Cochran book. I actually picked this book up not that long ago. I was on a trip visiting family in Illinois and came across this book in a shop. I think it was Bigfoot Comics, and I'm headed back to Illinois in like a week or so, and I was actually going to head back to Bigfoot Comics again, Rogue 121. I was going to head back to Bigfoot Comics, and then I jumped on their Facebook page and noticed that they are actually going out of business. So my hope is to be able to get there before they actually go out of business, because I would like to show them a little support. It was a pretty cool shop, I have to tell you. I spent not enough time there when I was there. I wish I could have spent a lot more time hanging out with those guys. But I'll show you guys this. Because again, you kind of use the opportunity you have. They wanted me to represent them a little bit, and so they gave me this cool Bigfoot Comics t-shirt. But as you guys know, I try to avoid anything with sleeves, so I have yet to wear it. But shout out Bigfoot Comics in, I believe, Granite City. TJ Watson is making the point that first appearances are always great. I would completely agree with that. Comics Miss Explained, you got a 9.8 in what? Would you get a 9.8 in? And yes, Victor, I replaced the Incredible Hulk 340. I was actually planning to take down NYX, and in fact, NYX was actually in a box. And then someone sent me a message, gave me something to think about, something I had already thought about but didn't put much stock into, and it was the fact that there aren't a lot of women on that wall back there. So we actually put NYX back up to join Lorna Dane And we took down the Hulk 340 because it was a lower grade. I mean, it was a 9.2, I think, lower grade, but it also wasn't a major key. So we decided to go with Iron Man 55 back there. Daniel, how you doing? Welcome there. Oh, Comics Mix Explained. You're celebrating my 9.8. Thank you, brother. All right. Oh, Victor, it was you. You guys got to start using the same names everywhere, man. When you guys use different names on Instagram and here, I get so confused and I can't give you proper credit. All right, so next up is Wolverine Volume 3, number 66. And let me see what this is. Okay, this is a book that I actually picked up as part of a purchase of someone's collection. 9.8. Nice. That's pretty cool. So this is Old Man Logan. This is when this story first begins, and it says a wraparound cover, but that wraparound, that backside looks just like an ad or something like that. It doesn't look all that sexy, to be honest with you. But maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. So the front of this thing, this front cover is really cool though. So I think I have 2 copies of this right now. This one is by far the one that's in the best shape. So still mad about this one because I actually spent some time going through these books pretty carefully, at least I thought, trying to make sure that I didn't send anything that was bad. And clearly I did because this is a 5.5. So I don't know. All right. I got you, Victor. All right. So we have 2 more books to go. So SWP Goat says he got a Amazing Spider-Man 252, 9.6 about 2 years ago. Late night, yeah. Picking up things off of eBay late night definitely can work in your favor. There is no doubt about that. I've also done some late night purchases in person, like that Iron Man 55 I purchased around 10:30, 11:30 at night. So, all right, so, oh, here we go. Here's another one, Wolverine 66. This is the exact same book that we looked at. Now, what are the chances that we have another 9.8? What are the chances? Boom. How about that? That's cool. So we have matching 9.8s. So that's pretty cool. I was hoping that it was not a 5.5. All right. So we are on our last book. Comic Crypto Stock is making the point that CGC can make mistakes. Are you referring to the Newton rings? Is that what you're referring to? So I showed my wife my Iron Man 55 yesterday, and she looked at it and she kind of tilted it to the side. She looks at me and she says, "What are these rings?" and so I had to tell her, just ignore those. Look right past them because they don't exist. They don't exist. No, I know what you meant, Crypto. I know what you were talking about, the 5.5. Possibly there was a mistake. So who knows? I mean, I'm also human too, so maybe I could have missed something. Maybe there was a tear inside the book or something like that that I didn't pay attention to. So we will see. We will go back and look at the grader's notes and figure it out, and see what's what, and then maybe find this thing a new home. We'll see. All right, so the last one up is Venom Lethal Protector number 1. I think we've already seen one of these. So here is another copy, and I can't remember what that one was. Maybe you guys remember. My memory is not the best, but let's hope that it's higher than the last one. 9.8 is what we got on Lethal Protector number 1, which could have been one of those black covers. So let me go back through here and let me see if I can find that last Lethal Protector and see what that one was. So that's not bad. We had a pretty good run. Oh, wow. So we had a couple of really nice books in here. I had 2 9.8s. So that's not bad at all. That's pretty cool. So and I may have spoken about this before in one of my videos. There are definitely some learnings to submitting books to CGC, and I've tried to capture some of my learnings in the various videos that I've put out about, how to package books up and things like that. But I think that, one of the more valuable lessons that I've honestly learned is to take your time and to actually inspect your books, right? And I didn't actually do that with my first shipment, and I paid for it, right? I paid for that lesson to be learned. I've learned since that first shipment to take the book out of the plastic and to look at the front and look at the back and, you know, to kind of flip through it. And I think I have a video up where I kind of talk about my methodology for examining books and how I kind of line them up, and I, especially if I have multiple copies, and kind of eliminate the various books to ensure that what gets sent should be a 9.8, a 9.6 if that's what I'm aiming for. But if it's a book where you only have one, then it is what it is. But you still, even with that, want to open the book up, you want to look through it, you want to inspect it to make sure that you know what defects are there before you actually send that book in. Because I see people get really upset with CGC, and yeah, they're human to the point that someone made. Yes, they are human and they make mistakes. But you, in my opinion, I try to also have some accountability for my actions. And so that's why I was saying with this 5.5, yeah, they could have messed up, but I could have also messed up, right? So I try to own my part of it as best I can. But we'll go back, and maybe they made a mistake. Maybe I made a mistake. We shall see. But my bigger point, I think, is to take your time and know what you're submitting, and to only submit those things that you think worthy of submission. And that can be using whatever criteria you choose to use. And I've put out a couple of videos where I talk about the criteria and stuff like that. But each of us has our own criteria that we should use, or at least think about before we submit some books. So Comics Misexplained is saying, very nice 9.8s. Thank you, brother. Yeah, I guess they are tough with grading Venom 1, but I think we've gotten a little lucky, you know, with the ones that I submitted in. And again, I tried to eliminate anything that had a defect and to try to send in the best possible stuff. So SWP Goat is basically saying that fingerprints are deadly on foil covers. Well said, brother. There is no doubt about that. Welcome Midwest Comic Man to the chat. Yeah, you did get here at the end. It's cool, but we'll actually run back through the books, brother. So just bear with me for a couple of moments. I want to get caught up, and then we'll run back through the books so you guys can see what's what, so you don't have to go back and rewatch it later. So Droopy is saying he sent his Uncanny X-Men 266 in, signed by Claremont and Kubert. That's cool. Added Jim Lee and Joe this past weekend. Bro, that is awesome. That is awesome. Congrats on getting all 4 of those signatures on the book. Fingers crossed that it stays a 9.6. That's impressive, my friend. It really is. Let me know, in all seriousness, let me know if you want to trade that book. I have some really good comics in my collection that I would gladly trade you for that book. I will make it worth your while. So, there's a comment here about the Lethal Protector books actually heating up. Yeah, they're probably going to get a little hotter, to be honest with you, because of the Venom movie. Yeah, the trailers and stuff are out, but I think once people maybe see that movie, I think that there could be a little bit of some extra room in there. And so Kingpin Comics is making the point that he made it in time to see the Venom. So that's cool. All right. So don't do what? Don't do the trade? Come on, brother. Don't sandbag another collector, man. Come on. TJ Watson, be very careful. He has a Fantastic Four first appearance of him, Warlock, out to inspect. Allergies kicked in. No. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. TJ, my heart goes out to you, brother. My heart goes out to you. Snot on a book is never a good thing. Snot's never. Yeah, exactly. Snot on the book is never a good thing. I'm sorry, brother. And I'm laughing because of the comment that just popped up a second here. You guys can see it in the replay. We're going to keep it clean here for families, all right? I hate when I'm watching the video and it's a, a comic book related video, so I feel my kids can be in the room for it, and then someone says a curse word or something like that. It kind of ruins it for me. So I try not to do that. Even though in person, if you ever meet me, I will curse like a sailor. All right, so let's run through these books real quick. I'm going to flip them over here, and then I'm going to run through them so that you guys can check them out and see exactly what is here. So this was, I think this is, I don't know, man. I've learned so many lessons. Like, one of the other lessons I learned, in addition to like inspecting my books, is to also send like kind books in at the same time. And what I mean by that is that I try to, do an invoice, if you will, of just modern books, right? Because I have similar costs, similar processing time. Because if you send in, let's say I had sent in, because I sent in a total of 16 books, but 2 invoices. Let's say I had sent that Iron Man 55 in with these modern books, then potentially the modern books would have been held longer, even though they could have gotten through the process faster, because vice versa. I can't remember. My point is, if you don't send in like-kind books, your shipments could either be delayed as a result of them being on one invoice, or they could send you multiple shipments out with as little as like one book or two book or something like that. So what I've tried to do is to bundle my shipments together with like kind, so as to minimize any delays and also shipping. So that's why I fast-tracked that Iron Man 55. These books basically came back one day apart from that Iron Man 55. All right, so did Alex just call me rogue? Oh, he's talking to somebody else. Okay, just checking there. It's like those people that call me Reggie with 2 G's. No, it's 1 G. All right, Alex, welcome, brother. How you doing? So here, Comic Crypto Stock is basically saying they will create 2 separate shipments, separate invoice charges and shipping. Yeah, well, what happened with me, I think with my first order, I think I sent in maybe 25 books, and they actually sent me, I think it was 3 different shipments. Might have been 4 at different times because of what I sent in. So it was a little bit of a mess. It was a big learning curve, that first one for me. So definitely learn from that. So first book, a little bit of a disappointment, but we are going to get to the bottom of whether it was my mistake or whether CGC has demonstrated that they are indeed human and not robots. There is X-Force number 2, 5.5. This is the lowest scored book or lowest graded book in the stack. So it's all upside from here. So we have first up Raw Zero, and this is the glossy version. So we've learned that the glossy version is better than the matte version. So we have this. Super pumped about this book. And if you watch the replay, you'll get a little bit more context for some of the things that I'm actually talking about, because now I'm just kind of showing them to you guys. So we have Silver Surfer number 1, volume number 3, came back out as a 9.6 white pages. Next up was a X-Force book. It's a sketch variant, I believe, white pages 9.0. I believe that this is like a 1 in 100, I believe, incentive. The other X-Force number 2 came back as a 9.8, so a little bit of a ding, but it's perfectly fine. Next up, we have not 1, but 2 Venom Lethal Protectors. Both came back as 9.8s, so that's really cool. Next up, we have a 9.4 Amazing Spider-Man 238 with the tattoos insert and sample inside. Next up, a 9.6 Amazing Spider-Man 529. Very cool book, very gorgeous cover. I dig that one. Picked that one up off of eBay, I believe. Here is Amazing Spider-Man 650, 9.6, also white pages. First appearance of Cindy Moon as Silk, Amazing Spider-Man number 4. Not 1, not 2. Well, not 1, but 2. 9.8 Wolverines number 66, Old Man Logan. Definitely a cool book. And then a couple of more books here is Amazing Spider-Man 252. You guys know I'm a huge fan of this. Came back as a 9.2, matching a 9.2 on the wall behind me. And then lastly, finishing things out with a 9.8 Uncanny X-Men number 164, also with white pages. So I submitted a couple of books the other day to CGC, and I received a notice from them today, which I thought was very fascinating. And in this message, they basically said, we are not using FedEx California anymore. Please pick a different shipper or different carrier. So I replied back to them and I said, UPS is fine, but can you help me to understand why you guys are no longer using FedEx in California? And they chose not to respond to that, but they thanked me for my fast response. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but I'm curious what your thoughts are. If you guys have heard this, if you've heard any rumors, I'm just curious more than anything else. Because I like FedEx. I get a lot of FedEx shipments, but I also get a lot of UPS, so it really doesn't matter to me. But I'm just curious what happened specifically with FedEx California that would prompt them. The other thing is, I'm curious whether any of you guys out there, while I'm kind of waiting for responses here, I'm kind of curious whether any of you out there have actually insured your comics. I received through CGC an email probably 2 weeks ago where it was, I think the subject line was like get insured or got insurance or something like that, which piqued my interest. And so I took a look at it. And it was yesterday that my wife kind of said to me when I showed her that Ironman 55 that she was like, so did you get insurance yet? And so I ended up pulling the trigger on some insurance, and I may actually do a video on it if people are interested. Because it's my understanding that comics and sometimes even collectibles are not covered in your home policy. And so I decided to go ahead and actually get some coverage specifically for the comics. It just gives me a little bit of peace of mind. It's no different than Alex is here in the room when I have my 1965 Mustang V8 Coupe. I actually picked up, specific insurance for that car that was different from my regular, car insurance. And I'm just curious whether you guys have any experience with that. Certainly, if you want to reach out to me privately, I'm always, happy to hear what you guys have to say. So let me check this out real quick. Comic Crypto Stock is saying not to sell the glossy raw cover zero. Brother, I very rarely sell comics, to be honest with you. I do more buying and collecting. I consider myself a collector. I do very few sales. I sell some raw stuff. I've sold maybe 2 slabs. But I don't sell a whole lot, so I probably will not sell that book, to be honest with you. But it sounds like you're making that recommendation because you believe that there is some lift that will come with the movies that are potentially coming out from Valiant, and I completely agree with that. So, JD, you missed a lot, brother. You're late to the party. You missed a whole lot. So a couple of comments here is that Midwest Comic Man is making the comment that the FedEx issue could be related to the fact that they consistently misroute and damage packages. You could be right. You could be right. I'm curious what's up with that. Comic Crypto Stock is saying that his books are insured. Brother, I want to message you one day because I want to know what the heck you do, because your videos are crazy, in terms of the number of books that you buy. I am super curious about you and that collection, to be honest with you. And every video I watch, I'm always like, I'm going to message this guy. So if you get a chance, let's chat a little bit. And it's just honestly it's genuine curiosity about you and your collecting and your philosophy and approach. So that's all that it is. So Thomas is basically making the point that a video potentially on insurance could be interesting. Yeah, so I will definitely consider it. We'll see what some other people have here about it. It seems that CCS, Comic Crypto Stock, is basically saying collectibles insurance company is who he went with. So yeah, we may do something on that. And he's saying that he has a 67 Mustang convertible. Very nice, brother. Very nice. I no longer have mine. And I don't have my 65 289 V8 Coupe anymore because I was once married before. And yeah. So Comic Lover Omega is basically saying Vin Diesel is playing Bloodshot. Yeah, I think it's Vin Diesel, and I think they just started filming, I want to say maybe 3 days ago or something like that. So JD, what's really rare, brother? What's really rare? Is it the Raw Zero? Is that what you're talking about with the glossy finish? You're saying that is pretty rare? Yep, so getting caught up here. Come to Vegas, brother. I may, because I want to go hit up Torpedo at some point. My buddy RB3 is there. So I may swing by Vegas at some point. My wife is a flight attendant. She doesn't really fly, but she's a flight attendant, and we get various benefits with that. So she's always like, if you want to go somewhere, just go. And it's tough because, you leave your family when you have free time, and then you go like be a nerd, and it's just hard for me to leave them behind, so I don't know, we'll see. But Vegas is a place I usually get there a couple of times a year for work, so we'll see. So both JD and Comic Crypto Stock are making the point here that the Raw Zero Glossy is a pretty rare book. Seems that it's about 10% of what's out there, which is cool, right? Because I think it's always cool when you pick up these books back in the day, and then suddenly those books are worth money. I just think that that's cool. For me, I don't really have any intention to I don't really have an exit strategy, to be honest with you. But I think it's cool when you pick something up literally for nothing and you pick it up simply for the enjoyment of that thing, and then that thing becomes worth money. I think it's cool. I oftentimes like to highlight it for my mother, who, you know, didn't support me all that much. And I'm saying that to be a little sarcastic, but didn't necessarily, you know, buy into the whole comic book spending money thing. So anytime I get a book that's worth money, I always kind of talk to her about it. Like, I bought this for $2 and now it's worth $20, you know? So I get a kick out of that. All right, so with that, I'm going to wrap this video up. I thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video, for spending a little bit of your day with me. I thank you in advance for any thumbs up that you'll leave behind, and certainly any comments that you leave when the video ultimately gets posted. There is a ton, I think, of really cool content on the channel. So if you haven't checked it out, maybe this is your first time watching me, I encourage you to go check out some of that footage. Tomorrow, I am going to be releasing a new video. It's a video where I highlight my approach for providing protection to comics beyond slabbing them and beyond the standard bag and board. And so it's not terribly expensive. It's a little bit more than a regular bag and board, but it's a lot less expensive than putting books in slabs. And so if you get a chance, tomorrow I'm going to be releasing this video. You might want to check it out if it's something that you're interested in. So with that, I will say thank you to every single one of you that joined the chat today. I appreciate you guys, and there's a couple of you that I'm going to follow up with soon. And if you want to chat, you can always reach me on Instagram at RegieCollects, and you can also reach me at RegieCollects@gmail.com. Take care, guys. Glass down.